We've had 2,000 years of the story been ruined.
I recently saw this surprising interview with Bear Grylls.
2,000 years of an awful lot of religion has ruined it.
Bear Grylls has written a book about Jesus.
You're the adventure guy, and here's this book about Jesus.
And the way he describes it is as a calling where he felt strongly compelled to just clear the decks and make this thing happen.
I wrote it actually in a month in the jungle. I was with my son. We were filming another show either side of it. He kept thinking I was on drugs or something. He goes like, you're just writing all day and all night.
He says most people don't know the real story of Jesus. And part of what's compelling him to write this book is he wants people to see Jesus for who he really is.
I've said this a few times now, but I would give up every other kind of work accolade in my life to have done this. It's the thing actually I'm most proud of.
What he says next about faith, it might surprise you because we don't always think about faith involving so much doubt.
I have many doubts. I really do. I have many moments of real struggle. I don't think it'd be right to say like I'm like super confident in my faith.
I mean, he gets really vulnerable about his faith and how much doubt plays into his relationship with God.
I think it's a myth that you find a faith and suddenly like it all comes together. Sometimes it goes up and you have moments where like, I know it's like I've just experienced, this is incredible. And the moments where it's like total madness.
Jesus' followers struggle with doubt. Even Jesus's closest friends, when he walked the earth, his disciples, his followers, they struggled with doubting him. And you never once see him shame them for that. Not once. Faith is never about pretending like you have certainty. Faith is about trusting Jesus even when that certainty fades. It's about relying on him and relying on his strength when you feel weak and you feel afraid. And now Bear is about to make another point that I think is important, although it might offend a lot of Christians.
Sometimes with theology, we get so buried in the semantics and the weeds and the religion that even in our own hearts, we lose sight of what it was about. I mean, you know, Jesus said it so simply. He said, I've just come to seek and save the lost.
Yeah, I think the church needs more people who can honestly admit that, yeah, I believe, but I still struggle with doubt. I don't have it all together.
2,000 years of an awful lot of religion has ruined it. You know, dressed it up in sort of a lot of sort of, you know, corrupt churches and corrupt sects and corrupt sort of, you know, religions. And I don't know, it's just like we've done a really good job as humankind of spoiling a really beautiful story if it's true.
Religion has ruined the story of Jesus. Yeah, he's right. Religion makes things really, really messy. That's one of the reasons why Jesus was so opposed to the religions and the religious leaders of his day. Now that might sound harsh, but I want you to listen to what he says because it's something that actually points us back to something truly beautiful about Jesus.
I had a really beautiful natural faith as a kid, you know, whereas like, I know that it's just, there's a connection. You know, it was no more than that.
Yeah, right.
And then I went to school and suddenly like everyone was speaking in Latin and wore white robes. It was all very full. You know, I had a mini version of what humans are experienced 2,000 years of thinking maybe this is what God is. Telling me not to do this, you know, speak in Latin, behave yourself and shut up.
The gospel is not man-made religion. It's not church politics. It's not cultural Christianity. Following Jesus, it's a lifelong commitment to him and to growing and maturing and being more like him. Jesus didn't come to start an institution. He came to save hearts, and religion and legalism and the judgment that comes from pride, which a lot of religion is rooted in pride. It really distorts the message of the gospel. It really muddies the waters.
For me, it's been a lifetime of unraveling that to find actually that's the bathwater. Dirty, grubby, was probably going to make you sick. But the baby in this thing, if you can take him out of the bathwater, is amazing. And I want people to experience that baby, the real story.
And I think what Bear's getting at here is not that he's against faith. I think that he's just has this longing in his soul for an authentic faith. And honestly, I think this is really the most powerful thing I've ever heard him say publicly about Jesus.
Daily struggles are real, but through it all, I kind of hold on to a few promises, even when I'm not really feeling it. And I kind of still somewhere in the pit of my heart and soul, I know I know I'm loved, and I know there is a presence out there, and it's good, and it's for us, for all of us.
At the end of the day, the gospel, it's not complicated. It's about Jesus meeting doubters and outcasts with grace, beautiful grace. And that's what Bear's reminding us of today. And so if you've ever felt burned out by religion or weighed down by rejection, just remember that Jesus has not given up on you. And if you thought Bear's honesty was something, just wait until you see this next video where Steve-O is very open about why he doesn't believe in God and why he thinks he's going to hell and why he's okay with that. We're going to unpack that in the next video, so check it out, and I'll see you there.